There we go. After some delay, finally we got the second game between Yaacovn and Boris Avro going on. This is a King's Indian, as you can see, with bishop f4, bishop f5. Probably not the most common approach for white with this bishop e2, bishop f4. At least I don't know. I haven't seen this too much in the King's Indian, but okay. Now while black has played this knight e4, uh, very comfortable game for black, I think. So far, he just exchanged his c pawn for white's e pawn, and he now has played knight c6. The pawn advances, committing. Now bishop takes to take this e5 square for the black knight. Now, although he gave up the bishop pair, black has a very comfortable game. In fact, probably his luck is slightly better here, because now there is a very nice piece here, the bishop on the big diagonal, the rook on the open file, the knight has a huge piece here, very centralized, and now simply defends the pawn on b7 with rook c7. Gonna double up pawns, pile up pawns on this open c file for black, and well, still of course a playable position, but I think I would rather take black here. The bishop is huge here, although white has the bishop pair. I don't think it's very important right now, because this bishop on e2 is so far only defending c4. This knight has some interesting squares to jump onto c5, e5. So black must be in the driver's seat in this position. I don't know. That's my humble opinion on this. The queen is okay here, attacking a2, also trolling the dark square diagonal here. a6, and maybe, I don't know, maybe to stop queen b5, but I don't think that was a great option. Now bishop goes to d2 to attack the queen. Queen d6, queen c5, okay. Now bishop e3 is possible, and bishop d4. Willing to exchange this bishop. The queen goes to d4. And now I think black has a better knight against slightly worse bishop in this middle game. Queen c3. Yaacov is offering a queen exchange, and well, I think either exchanging or not wouldn't be in white's favor. I mean, both are keeping slight advantage for black, as black has very nice squares for his knight. This pawn is a threat. I mean, is a target, clear target. The other rook will come most probably to the open c file, and I don't know. I think it is black who must decide the fate of this game, so far at least. So how are they doing on time? Well, almost 4 minutes for Yaacov, 3.5, almost 3.5 for GM Avro. So not time troubles in this so far. King G2, and well, it is for black to look for a way to push, I guess, here, because otherwise he has a very comfortable position. And I don't know, maybe f4 could be an idea, an aggressive idea for white someday, but I don't believe that's anything serious. Maybe the knight would go back to d7, c5, and then try to go to e4, but that's a long way to go. Black is thinking, definitely trying to see if there is something really to push for the victory, or try to play just solid, I guess, and keep the position sound and not allow anything for white, just make it a draw. a5, okay. Positional, it gives up the b5 square, but it's not a big problem here for black, as white cannot put any knight or something here. So maybe black will try to push this a pawn down to the third rank. Meanwhile, h4, h5, and f4. Well, Yaacov tries to be a little aggressive on the king side. Makes sense. I mean, you have to play some for something. And g4, there it goes. Very interesting. Trying to open up the king side and take advantage of the fact that black has almost all his pieces here on the queen side and doesn't have any pieces to defend his king. But now knight back to f6, attacking g4, and now if g5, that would be very committal, blockading the position. Uh, Yaacovn takes on h5, and now there is an open g file, both kings are in the air, and this could be very interesting right now. Bishop goes to f3, king goes h8, very prophylactic and natural move because both kings on the open g file. This is uh, not not recommended by doctors for the fainted hearted. Now I guess the oh no, f5. Well, I was guessing a king h3 or something like that move. No, king h7. Okay, the queen was threatening to go to h6 with a devastating check. So the king defends now h6. And now I would probably put the king on the h file and try to bring some rook here. Maybe first to e3 to secure the c4 pawn. Queen f2 is trying to exchange queens, and at the same time remove the king from the g file. That's what they play. b5. Okay, of course it cannot be taken because the rook would be hanging. It takes. Rook takes. Okay, that would be leaving great weakness on c4. So the rooks are traded. Let's see if the last pair of rooks are swapped. Yes, and we get an endgame with a relatively bad bishop, I would say, because almost all his pawns are on light squares against a cool knight which has c5, e5 available. The only problem for black may be his h5 pawn, which is on a light square. So that means this king is almost trapped here defending this pawn, which actually may be a huge, yes, that's a huge point for in white's favor, because this king basically cannot move. Otherwise black gives up this pawn and gives up a passed pawn to white, which could be dangerous. So black is playing with his knight and white is playing with his king, and there is a draw offer by black. Boris Avrokh offering a draw. Let us see if Yaacovn takes it. I mean, I think this is still playable. Maybe bishop a4, try to go to d7, but most probably at this level this should be draw. Bishop goes back to e2. Now I guess knight c5, and well, they keep playing bishop f3, knight back, and now knight c5, stopping white king from going through these light squares. The dark square is guarded by the pawn. Bishop back to e2, knight goes here and there. Now knight c5, stopping white king from penetrating through a4. And I don't know what is white going to do. Oh, actually the knight goes to e4. Bishop e3, knight back. Wasn't it possible to go to a4 with the king? Maybe there was a threat here. Okay, there was a threat of forking the king and the bishop here on c3. Okay, very easy. So the king cannot go to a4 because knight c3 would fork both pieces and win the game. So knight now must go back, I guess, to c5 to stop the king from going to a4. But then maybe bishop could go to a4, but I'm not sure if that is a great deal for black. Well, it seemed that black was in the driving seat in the middle game, but now in the end game, white is clearly trying to push for a win, because black has this great weakness here on h5, and although this bishop has his own pawns on light squares, wow, now black sacrifices this pawn and activates his king. Okay, that's cool. The king will go to e4, most probably. No, he doesn't want to go in, he just sacrifices. Black just sacrifices the pawn. Now if f6, well, not king f6, if f6, the king would be trapped here without doing that much, but I guess this is still a draw. Boris Avrukh most probably knows it, so he goes back and forth, just controls this bishop, controls this pawn here, and there is it seems very little that white can do. I mean, his f5 pawn is protected now, so this looks very drawish right now. King back to f6, king up to c3, but I just don't know what. Well, king goes back up to d4, but what's the idea? Maybe to protect the pawn with the king from f4 and try to reroute the bishop to somewhere, but yes, it seems this is what Yaacovn is trying to do. He's bringing the king here to the king side. Yes, to f4. Now f6, stopping this king from going to either f5 or a g5 or e5. Bishop back to moving up and down. And well, now this king is controlling king side. I think this should be draw. I don't know. Still, the knight has got some good squares. 53 seconds for white, 33 for black. Remember, the time control is 5 minutes for each player with 1 second of increment with each move. So Yaacovn is known to be very fast and very strong in internet bullet blitz chess games, so this is his territory. Maybe more the bullet games than the blitz, but still he's very used to play with the increment on the internet and so on. So he's trying to buy some time. Once again, black offered the draw, but Yaacov keeps playing, so he's losing the match so far, 1-0. You can see the score here. 1-0 for Boris Avrukh, so he keeps playing, of course. And well, I don't really see how he's going to improve his position. The king can go here or there, but it cannot get through. This king is controlling squares here, so the knight is doing a great job controlling a4. So this should be a draw. 24 seconds, 22 for Yaacov. Now Yaacov offers a draw, and the game is draw.